What's going on, guys? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and it's Wednesday. I think we're going to start a new tradition here on Mountain Man Treasure. It's What's Old Wednesday. So, here's the thinking. What sold Wednesday? I mean, I like alliteration, right? So we're going to take a look back at what sold over the weekend. Gave me a little bit of time to catch up. We've had a few videos in between the weekend and here, but I know folks like what sold, so we're going to definitely keep doing those. And the thing is, this weekend had a theme for me, and that theme was small, over and over and over. We sold a lot of smalls. Now, I know there are sort of differing thoughts on this, right? I know some people, like myself, don't mind having smalls in the store. Actually, in some ways, like having smalls in the store. And when we say smalls, for those that are maybe newer, are I guess both literal and sales figurative, right? They are small items very often that are not worth very much. So, like I said, differing thoughts. I like them in the store. Some people say that they would rather spend their time on something else, right? The idea is, I want to spend money on one thing that makes 20 bucks versus spending maybe even the same amount of money on four things that makes 20 bucks. You're coming out the same in the end, but the idea is less work, right? It's less involved, less inventory, and that goes back to the ASP, which is what, average selling point, sales price? I don't know, means the same thing, right? It's, you sell 100 items, what was the average sales amount? That's your ASP, right? My ASP, I think, I haven't actually looked at it. I probably should have before I started this, but I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of between 20 and 25 bucks per thing that we sell. And yeah, it'd be nice to have that a little bit higher, but honestly, I don't mind. I think that's pretty good. I think that's because I have a mix of smalls and higher priced items, and then it lands in the middle. But look at what we sold. And what happened was, I think it was pretty much all day Friday. I was getting a lot of things. On Friday, we had 11 sales on Friday. Really good single day. Now, Saturday and Sunday really slowed down, so it all balanced out. But on Friday, we're not going to go through all of these, guys, because, well, these aren't things, frankly, that you should be out there looking for. I mean, not specifically. Now, if you find them and you're okay selling smalls, by all means, pick them up. But these aren't necessarily things you should be out hunting for at garage sales or thrift stores. So I don't want to waste the time and make this a 45-minute video. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to run through the smalls first. Now, what happened, I dropped off 21 things. One of them sold overnight, and I packaged it up quickly this morning. But we had 20 sales Friday through Sunday, okay? 10 of them were what I consider smalls. They were $15 or less. Some of those with shipping, a lot of those free shipping. I mean, we had sub $10 items free shipping, okay? Half of our orders were smalls. Now, 7 more were items that were between $15 and $20. So still kind of in that smaller range, but not big sales, right? So 17 of our 20 sales were anywhere between like 5 and 20 bucks. That's a weird weekend. They're not normally like that. I mean, normally it's more of a smattering. The idea that you filter in some smalls with your bigger sales, and it's a cushion, right? It pads the numbers. Well, on Friday, all that we had was pad. I mean, that was it. So take a look at what we sold that I consider smalls, okay? And then we'll start with the 10, okay? We'll start with those very small items, and you'll see we had that one, we had that one, we had that one, that one, that one, that one, this guy down here, we had this guy, and this guy. Look at all these guys. You can't, I mean, they're now, I think, covering the screen. These were the first 9 things that we sold, or at least in this order, not necessarily chronological, but actually it's pretty close because Friday, that's all it was. Very small items. Okay? Wipe that off. We've got more. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. How about there? How about there? Smalls. All of them small, guys. They were all small sales. Now, on Sunday, we did actually pick up a couple of items that were a little bit bigger, and I'll show you those. We'll run through those. But talking about the small items, as I mentioned, some people, they would rather mess with an individual item rather than pile up a bunch of smalls, a bunch of little things. My thinking is this, and I get what they're saying. I mean, I totally understand what they're saying, but all I sold Friday, small things. What if I didn't have those small things in the store? Bupkis, right? We don't sell anything, potentially, on Friday. Maybe everybody out there was broke because they spent money on their mom. I hope that was what happened. I don't know if it was, but yeah, if we didn't have the smalls in there, we wouldn't have sold anything. I think small items help keep your store active. I mean, somebody getting in wanting to pay $8 or $9 free shipping for something, that's an investment that they can make spur of the moment, not really think about it that much. Very often, these small items, I've noticed, I get good feedback. I get positive feedback on the small things a lot. I'd be interested to see a study of price point versus positive feedback given. My guess is that it would be higher on the small dollar items. I don't know why, but it does seem to be the case. Anecdotally, for me, seems to be the case. So, one, you get feedback builders. That's a good thing, especially if you're new and starting out doing this reselling thing. You want to build that feedback quickly. You can do that by selling small items. I mean, that's one way to do it. It also, I think, keeps activity in the store. None of us really know what the magical eBay algorithm is all about, how it works, but we all have ideas. And activity in a store is pretty universally considered to be a good thing. That's why people say list all the time. That shows that you're active in your store. People say, revise things or change up photos or titles or end a listing and relist it. Whatever that is, all of that goes back into your store is active, right? Well, your store is no more active than when people are buying stuff out of it. It might not matter to the magical algorithm how much that item is. It's just, hey, somebody went into that store, they found a thing, they bought it. So I think it helps. I think it helps that people are going through. And one reason that I don't mind it is because very often the small things, very easy to photograph and list. They're very easy to store. They don't take up any room. And they're very, very easy to list. I mean, we were selling things that you wrap in a little bit of bubble and put in a poly mailer or put in a box, tape it up, and it's done. I packed up so many of these things so fast. I mean, it's minutes a piece. So that's another positive. It doesn't take long to ship these things out. There's a lot of goods about it. So it depends on your business model, whether you want to do this or not. For me, it works, and I'm happy with it. Normally, they're not all, it's not an avalanche of smalls. But this weekend, I was glad I had them because you add all those up, and we sold more than $400 worth of stuff this weekend. I know that's not huge for a lot of sellers. There's a lot of much bigger sellers out there. For me, that's really good. I mean, it's not a fantastic weekend dollars-wise, but I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, how can you not be? I mean, $400, right? I mean, that's still a big deal. So that's my take on the smalls. Okay, so that out of the way, let's take a look at some of the things that we sold that were a little bit bigger. These may be something you should keep an eye out for. Now, this guy, where are we gonna? We're gonna put it up here. This guy up here. This is Spyder. Spyder is a brand you want to watch out for. Spyder. Now, Spyder men's stuff tends to sell pretty quickly and for higher dollar. This one, though, I'm thrilled it sold. This is the third time that I sold this thing. I put it to auction. It sold. Never paid. So I put it back at auction. It sold. Never paid. I was beginning to think that this thing was cursed. Right? How am I not selling this thing? It's a women's XL. It's a Spider. It's a very good shape. It's a really nice piece of clothing. And people kept not paying for the thing. So I decided, you know what? We're not going to do auction. We're just going to list the thing. And we finally sold it, and they paid. I'm thrilled. Now I'm a little paranoid. If this thing is cursed, they're going to get it and find a problem with it and want to send it back. I'm just going to let them keep it. Frankly, I don't want this thing back. So hopefully the buyer's not watching, because now they know. But if they file some sort of claim, I'm going to say, you know what? I'll refund your money, keep the thing. I'm ready for that thing to be out of the store. I should probably tell you. Well, but you saw it up there. $24.49 is what that thing sold for. So not bad. I took an offer on this. This is a vintage Arizona Diamondbacks jersey, baseball jersey. Very, very cool. I think I could have held on to it and eventually sold it for a little bit more. I had it listed for hire. It's got a lot of views, but I didn't really have any interest in it in terms of watchers or offers. And so when somebody sent me an offer, $44.99, plus they're paying shipping, I thought, you know what? I think we paid $3 for this. It was a half off weekend, and it was either $3 or $4 that we paid for this. It was in, I think, one of our thrifting videos. I'm not that much into it, so I thought $45, I'm good. Let's move the thing out. It's not gotten a lot of interest, and sometimes you got to make that call, right? You got to decide, you know what? Is it worth me holding out? Is it worth me countering? I could have countered for 50 or something. Tried to get a few more bucks, but I thought, you know what? We'll swing one deal. I'll make money. I'll get it out of the shop. Everybody's happy. So $44.99, that guy's gone. And then our only other more than $20 sale, though I did sell the, if you saw it, the old vintage t-shirt, that was straight at $20. I had it listed a little bit higher. That was a niche item. I'll pop it back up here. Might as well talk about it. He sent me an offer of $14.99 or $15. Maybe it was straight $15. I had this listed a little bit higher at like, I think it was 27 or 28 bucks. But this was one of those, I don't know how much this thing is actually worth because there aren't any others out there. So list it high and see what happens. That also means it's the niche item. So when somebody comes along that actually wants it, you got to be really careful. Unless you're willing to hang on to it, it's going to be a while that line's out there in the water before you get another bite, potentially. So he sent me an offer of 15. I had it listed for like 27 and change. So I thought, you know what, I'll still give him a deal, but I want him to understand that I know that this is valuable because it's very rare. So we sent an offer of $20. This is plus shipping. So we sent an offer of $20 back to him. So after I sent him that offer of $20, he sent me back a question and said, hey, what is the length of this? So I sent him, I said from the top of the collar down to the hem, here's what it was. 23 inches, I think, something like that. 24, I think it was 24. He said, okay, thanks. What is it from the top of the shoulder down? I don't know why you need that when I gave you the other one, but the top of the shoulder down, measured, and I think that was 27. And then he said thanks, and then nothing happened. I thought, okay, well, whatever. I actually set it aside to put it away, and then later the payment came through. So that just a little tip for you on those niche items. If you do get somebody interested, you got to weigh your options, whether you're willing to swing a deal, still make money. I think we paid $1 for that shirt. So, I mean, we certainly still made money on it. And for me, it was worth it to not let it sit out there and just get it out the door. So that one, a little bonus for you. We added that one in there. But this is the only other thing that we sold higher than $20. And it was actually free shipping. So at the end, it came out under $20. But this is another one of those Hallmark ornaments. These things just keep selling. Oh, come all ye hungry. It's a cool ornament. I don't know why it's worth 21 bucks. We sold it for $20.97, free shipping, but these things generally, depending on where they go, it's about $4 to ship out. They're not very heavy. So we paid $1 into all of these Hallmark ornaments, and they're selling anywhere between 10 and I think the highest we sold was 60 bucks. We're pretty much out of the higher end ones right now. But we're still going to be selling, I think I've got about 10 left, and they're still 10, 12 bucks a piece. So we're now pushing, we're right about $300 net profit on these ornaments, which is unreal for a little retail arbitrage accidental find. So really happy with that ornament sale. So that's what we had this weekend, guys. It wasn't a particularly exciting weekend, but I did fill up 2 IKEA bags and drop those off at the post office. It looked impressive on the counter anyway. So thanks for stopping in, guys. I appreciate it. This is what we do on this channel. We talk about things that sold. We talk about things that we picked up. I think there's a thrift haul coming up in tomorrow's video, so be on the lookout for that. If you got questions, ask them. We've been starting to get some questions. We've been answering those. The channel is growing. We're up over 725, 730 subs, right in that ballpark. So we're growing, and it's actually starting to pick up some steam. I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to put out a lot of content, but I'm not trying to just churn out junk. I'm trying to make sure that there's valuable information here. So if there's something you want to know, let me know. But hit that subscribe bell, hit that subscribe button underneath, but then hit the bell. Actually, if you subscribe and you don't hit the bell, you're not going to be notified when we put new stuff up. It does help me. So if you're going to pick one, hit that subscribe, hit the thumbs up, comment down below, do all the YouTube stuff that you do. And thanks so much for coming in, guys. I sure appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.